authority given to the Corrections Association of New York, Governor Hochul must sign the Robert Brooks bill, no amendments. Let there be no more beatings, no more deaths, no more brutality against helpless men and women. We are people of faith who believe in redemption.
Amen. Great. So I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to keep it very real with people. We have to have these common sense bills passed. But if people understood, when I think about training officers, I'm going, you know what? It didn't take, if they had just followed their humanity, we wouldn't be in this place. Because it doesn't take training to let you know that you don't jump on somebody and beat them and kick them and choke them and do everything else that is vile. That is wrong. So where are we getting these people from that they can actually turn to do things that are actually, at the end of the day, evil? I don't know how else to put it. I don't know how else to put it. How do we bring that humanity back to people? When I was in prison, you know, I almost got written up because I'm a light-skinned Puerto Rican. They almost wrote me up for destroying state property. I was the state property. Why? Because I got a sunburn while I was in the yard. I'm state property. That is a psychological trauma. It is part of, Ronnie Minter was right, it is part of that plantation mentality that happens on a consistent basis. Now, the judicial part of this case with Robert Brooks is basically almost over. There's one more that's going to trial. It's almost over. Now it's in the hands of the governor and the legislature. Here's one of the bills. They must let the family know that their child, son, brother, cousin, whoever it is in their relation has been killed. We have to have someone tell you that you should contact the family. Do you know how I get news about my nephew when he's in prison? Little Jojo tells his Auntie Tina, and Auntie Tina goes up and tells my auntie, and then they call us, and then we have to call the prison because the administration does not tell us that something is wrong with our children or our brothers or our sisters. I mean, my God, is that not common sense? We're talking about common sense legislation. But I can't believe that we actually even have to legislate that. Why in the world do you have to legislate that? You have to legislate that you can't beat a man's arms when they're sticking out? We have to literally pass laws to say this? It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind and everyone here. There is absolutely no way that, and if we're going to talk about injustice, let's talk about this injustice with HALT. I don't know if any of you, some of you in the back of me probably know what SHU is, solitary housing unit. Okay, you have an infraction, they send you to the solitary housing unit. I've seen women doing 5-7 years. I had a woman with me who actually, they put a ball and chain on her ankle to take her to the hearing. And women that have been in prison with me know exactly who I'm talking about. That is medieval. That is medieval. It should be completely unconstitutional. There have been instances that I have seen officers, I mean, I thought my eye socket was going to be crushed. I was maybe 110 pounds soaking wet when I was young and in Rikers Island. And that officer hit me for refusing to serve a dead rat that was in the beef stew to the women, because the women started banging on the walls and they wanted their food. I wasn't giving it to them. Yo, CO, I'm not serving this. Instead, I get a punch in the face, slide all the way down, and then get put in lock. But today, what are they doing 23 hours a day? Whether or not you committed an infraction, well, I don't care if you call it keep lock, I don't care if you call it administrative whatever, there is a law on the books that has been suspended by Governor Hochul. It's been suspended indefinitely. Why? We all said this was the right thing to do. Why are people only being out 1 hour a day? Why can't the chaplains, why can't they actually have their services right now? Why they're being paid by the Department of Corrections to do a job that they cannot do because they won't allow them to come? Why are all the programs deleted? Why are college programs are not available right now? At least 2 have been canceled right now. How about the fact that there was a hunger strike at Mid-State Correctional Facility? The godmother, who was the Republican mayor, told me, and I quote, she told me just like this. She said, if they're going to torture and abuse him, they might as well have executed him. He's doing 87 years in prison. I don't think maybe he should come home. Now, mind you, I'm not in agreement on everything she said, but I get the idea. What she's saying is we get sentenced to time. That is painful enough and allows us to reflect on the things that we have done. I happen to be guilty of my crimes. I did that stuff. But when I went into the prison system, I had to gauge what kind of life I wanted. I had to have the ability to redeem myself, to actually go after redemption. But if I am kicked, beaten, abused, raped, let's not forget that there are over 1,200 cases from Albion Correction Facility alone around women being absolutely abused.
Right.
I want to tell you, it happens. I have seen it happen. I have seen my friend Savage walk with me through the Sally Port in the prison, tells me she is sick, and she looks like a little boy, and the response is, I got something for her that'll go cure her, if you know what I'm saying. The next day, that young lady was dead. Dead. And that happened years ago. Years ago. That means this has been continuing, and it is worse today. It is worse because there is no accountability. We need a bill. We need to move accountability to an independent state. It's like the police actually policing themselves. It's not going to work. We need an independent body. And when my friend Robert Ricks, the father of Robert Brooks, called me, there was nothing else I could do. But it compelled me, and I'm so grateful for you and your family. And my heart goes out to you so much. It really does. You know, and Robert is my dear friend. And I am telling you, whether it's Messiah Nansui, whether it's this young man who is an amazing young man, amazing. Amazing. He's working, he's doing the right thing. He has his own child. He has his own child. He ain't out there on them streets. They didn't raise the family like this. His father, his granddad works with the students constantly. My grandkids went to my grandkids were in his father's program. There's no way that this should happen. I want to thank you all. Please tell Kathy Hochul, sign this bill, but remember, we ain't leaving because it's not enough. It's not enough to just say we're going to call the families when their child is dead. It's not enough to say we're going to do a study. It's not enough. Sign these common sense bills so we could get to the real deal here. Okay? All right. Thank you. We are going to take some questions, if any need to be taken at this point. If any press have any questions. Seeing no questions, I'm going to tell all of you, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for supporting this family. Albany showed up for the Brooks family. That's right. They're going to show up for the Nansui family. They're going to show up for the Nixon family. They're going to show up when Ronnie Minter comes around. We're going to show up. And I appreciate y'all for doing that. Thank you so much. Sign that bill. press would like, there's a press conference at 11:30 on the 3rd floor. Any of you who would like to go and stop the industrial development agencies and their nonsense to support our children, feel free to go on the 3rd floor of this Capitol. Thank you all so much.
Oh, yeah. Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube.